So we're just off to the UK TomTom launch, but we thought, why waste time? Let's give you another quick review while we're going on our way in the back of the cab. So we're going to test the Ndrive G800. Now this is a top of the range, 300 quid sat-nav device. Now the exciting thing, or the interesting thing about this, is that it features photographic maps of the areas. Now this only works in a number of select cities around the UK and Europe, but places like Reading, Plymouth, Newcastle, Hull are all on there. But if you're into the countryside, then it won't happen. And the idea is that you just key in your information and away you go. And you can probably see that we're moving along at the moment, and we're moving there. And there's Waterloo Station, for example, and you can zoom out and it sort of overlays the road. It's a bit like a sort of Google Maps hybrid with the satellite images. It's quite interesting, it's quite useful, I suppose, but then at the same time we really can't understand why it makes any difference to your actual navigation needs. I mean, I know London from the sky quite well, partly because I've been in the Millennium Wheel, partly because I've flown over it on a clear day in an airplane, and I've seen plenty of aerial shots. But when we took it to Reading, testing it, for example, I've never seen Reading from the sky, and so it didn't make any difference to me to know that a building was that big. The only thing we could think of is that you could say, well, I know that there's a river somewhere near here, and therefore I'm looking for the river, but you know, that's a bit of a stretch, that you can't trust your navigational device to try and find you in the first place. Beyond the navigation, there's also a stack of multimedia features, so you get the ability to listen to music, view photos, view videos. You can also connect your Bluetooth headset, Bluetooth phone to it, so you can use this as a hands-free kit. And there's even an FM streamer, so it will stream the instructions or music from the device straight to your FM radio in the car, so you can either share your music with the speakers or you can actually listen to the instructions. And that's the Ndrive G800. So we're here at the UK launch of the new TomTom range, and in particular wanted to have a look at the TomTom One. Now it's been completely redesigned to be considerably smaller, and it comes with a nifty little cradle. Instead of that massive thing you normally have, this just slots onto the back, slots out, and then sticks on like that. It's pretty small, and say the idea is you take one off, put one in one pocket, take the other off, put that in the other pocket. Besides the new design, there's obviously the TomTom features inside from a software point of view, all controlled by the touch screen. And you can get a larger screen called the XL if that's what you fancy. And the menu system is really simple to use, and the mapping incredibly easy as well. You get stuff like the time of the arrival, the speed you're going, distance to the next turn, etc. We can't actually show you how it works because we're inside sitting next to a swimming pool rather than in a car. But what we can show you is a really nice feature that they've added called Help Me. Now the idea of this is that if you've broken down or you've suddenly got into an accident or something, you can find out exactly where you are, so you can tell the emergency services or the breakdown service where you are, rather than sort of saying I'm on a lane and I remember there was a turning somewhere down the road and I'm heading towards this and I think I'm somewhere about here. Now what you can do is press where am I, and that automatically tells you. Now this is telling us the last place this device was, but it allows you to read out to the emergency services, say I was at the corner of the A302, St Margaret Street, Westminster on the da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's really helpful because all of a sudden they know exactly where you are. In addition to that, because you can connect the TomTom One with your phone, you can also get it to phone for help. So you can phone the emergency services, or it's got the number of the AA, for an example, or, and one we really like, the number for the nearest hospital, having worked off the database inside. It's really simple, very consumery, and shows that the TomTom range is probably one of the easiest on the market, but also shows that pretty much anybody and everybody now can get sat-nav without being confused, and that's the TomTom One. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our birthday edition. I certainly enjoyed the present of being able to sit in Kitt and have a wicked throwback to the 80s, and this point where they'll probably play me dancing like the 80s. Why don't you tune in next time for more news, reviews, tips, tricks, opinions, and much more. And if you're watching this on a podcast, why don't you come to megawatt.tv, where you can see all of the above on a beautiful platform with plenty more features. I'm Stuart Miles, this is Megawatt, we're one. See you next week.